Respected sadhakas, salutations to you, and together let us salute to the Parabrahma Tattva, to the Lord, to all great sages, sadhu, santa, mahatma, rishi, muni, gana, who have brought all these knowledges to us, and to the Shruti Mata. Just like in the world, any great achievements expects great performance, and that great, continuous, beautiful performance is the outcome of continuous practice, starting from zero level, scratch level. A car racer driving it 320 kilometers. When was on the first day in this on the behind the steering, he was nomad, nothing known to him. So to any expert, any scientist, he started with learning alphabets and basics of science only. So to a great economist or any politician, started from beginning. Practice made them perfect in doing perfectly. That perfect doing alone gives a result. In the same way, in our spiritual sadhana also, perfect understanding followed by perfect sadhana gives us the perfect result of Paramatma Anubhuti and Moksha. That perfection comes to us only through practice till it becomes perfect. So, only principle in our life is, like it is said, stop not, move on. Charai veti, charai veti. Keep on listening to Shastras. Then, slowly one day, the clarity comes to us and we understand it too, and we are convinced that all Shastras are telling the first thing basically is Paramatma alone should be our goal. If it has not happened in our heart, the acceptance of Paramatma alone as the goal, then some more Shastra Shravanam we have to listen or we have to do. Then after that is over, for the Anubhuti, the respective outer inner sadhanas have to be done. So if the Anubhuti has not come to us, means what? The sadhana is yet to be done. So keep on practicing. The Shravana for conviction about Paramatma as the goal. Keep on practicing sadhana. Again, in that Shastra only, the sadhana also is told. Keep on doing those sadhanas with full attentiveness, awareness, not allowing it to become the routine or dull, monotonous, mechanical thing, but remembering ourselves, reminding ourselves the goal to reach to that goal, that sadhana, as meticulously, perfectly, it has to be done. So perfectly, we should keep on practicing to do. As we go on practicing, doing perfectly, one day it gets fully matched in such a manner, it makes us deserving. It makes us qualified. With the deservability and qualification, we are blessed by the divine, with the vision divine, experience divine, freedom from all samsara. Apart from that, other than it, if by any reason we discontinue both the study as well as sadhana, then we are not helping ourselves at all. We are our own first and foremost and bittermost enemy. Come what may, we will not leave these two things of Shastra Shravana as well as the due sadhana doing everyday basis. Anna? Earlier, when nothing was done, was to be done, nothing was there to be done, and very boring, a little interest for the study sadhana used to come, and we used to do for a day or two. Again, go back to that very wanting worldliness. But now the system should be totally opposite. Ki any number of difficulties, obligations coming outside, we are not leaving our classes, study and sadhana. Even if one day little bit missed, we cover it up by doing the next day double. to this level of so much commitment to the Shravana, the study, the sadhana, when we lift ourselves, then we are matured. We are on the right track. Then, once ensured on right track, Charaiveti. Keep moving till that track ends in reaching us to the destined destination. And everybody like this only tried. And whoever tried like this, all of them got the result. Whoever tried like this, all of them got the result. Whoever have not tried or given up for any of the reason, then they get got held up and they have mm, again came back and fell into the same old samsara of artha kama, endless cravings, further doing every papa punya and running from one world to the other, one circumstance to other, one relations to the other around, and one dukkha to the other. Upaiti dukkopari dukkha jatam. That Vivek Chudamani some text says like that. So let us be clear about these in our intellect. Let no cobwebs cover this knowledge of ours for any reason, and let us practice this knowledge of being regular in our Shravana Swadhyaya, being regular in chosen sadhana, given sadhana, convinced the sadhana, and the correct sadhana. Again and again assessing ourselves whether we are right path or not, any changes that have to be brought, any improvements that have to be brought, observing that required things, if you do it, that's also very good. Along with it, never to be forgotten is the smarana of Guru Tattva, Guru Parampara, Swaguru, and smarana of Parabrahma, Narayana, and Ishtadevata, and upasanas to them, and single sankalpa that, hey Bhagavan, Shruti Ukta Paramatma Anubhuti come to us. No other thing we want. Even if any other want is there, don't fulfill that want, rather remove that want. Because by now we have understood that want is the biggest dis-ease which displaces us from the easiness of doing sadhana. So see to it, O Lord, all these diseases of desires other than that of Paramatma are totally eliminated from the root of our heart. And if that elimination requires any tough tasks or miseries or troubles or difficulties or punishments, give them. But remove that disease. Remove that biggest obstacle of anything asked other than Paramatma. Yame Vaisha Vrunute Tena Labhyaha. Today we have spent around 40 minutes in discussing this shloka in our morning Mundaka Upanishad class Telugu. It was excellent discussion. So this is what today's little touching of introduction. Now let us enjoy our three classes. One, our study of Bhagavatam, Dashama Skandham, 86th chapter, Bahulashwa, Shrutha Deva, Bhagavan reaching to their house, they receiving, doing all puja, doing stuti of the Lord, Bhagavan blessing them. If possible, we'll conclude it today. If not, tomorrow. Then in the Adhyatma Ramayanam, Uttarakandam, third sarga we have completely seen yesterday. How therefore Ravana got committed to do something by which he will get that animosity, enmity with Lord Rama, get killed in his hands. In today we will beginning the fourth sarga. Again in this also, Narada Ravana Samvada goes for some time. Then again Ravana's commitment, etc. Then all the rishis, etc., Agastya, all who came to see the Lord, get blessings from the Lord, who have had this samvada, last few sargas, right from the one onwards, it was Agastyaji only narrating the Janma of the Ravana, the Rakshasas, Janma of Sugrivadi, all. All that is over, these rishis take permission and leave Bhagavan. Thereafter, for 10 12 slokas, How was Ramarajya? That is explained. Up to that, we try to see today. It's followed by that Sita Parityaga episode that will be seen tomorrow. Let us, and then we'll start today Kakaradi Kalika Sahasra Namavali. Daily 2 to 100 we do, 5 days it will be done. So, just with full patience, faith, devotion, let us try to do every aspect of these things, knowing that these are all the required sadhanas which purify our heart. Some of them increase our devotion and Sharanagati. Some of them bring Chitta Shuddhi Ekagrata. Some of them make us pray to God to invoke His blessings. Some of them give the clarity of what Dhyana Adi we have to do as our Purushartha. So let us involve in them. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Om Sachidanandarupaya, Vishwotpatyadihetave, Tapatraya Vinashaya, Shri Krishnaya Vayan Namaha, Janmadyasya Yatonvayaditaratascha, अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओं योऽन्तःप्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यान् हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् ॐ यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातराजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपमतितितीर्षतां तमोन्धं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुन्मुनीनाम् ओम समस्त देवताभ्यो नमः ऋषिभ्यो नमः मुनिभ्यो नमः गुरुभ्यो नमः ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमः आचार्येभ्यो नमः भक्तेभ्यो नमः साधुभ्यो नमः साधकेभ्यो नमः तीर्थेभ्यो नमः क्षेत्रेभ्यो नमः नदीनदेभ्यो नमः शास्त्रेभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुनये शौनकादृषिभ्यो वैशम्पायनादृषिभ्यो अत्र्यादृषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तनेभ्यो आदित्यादि नवग्रह देवताभ्यो दशदिक्पालकेभ्यो दत्तात्रेय दक्षिणामूर्तये ग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो आदिपराशक्ति मात्रे माता पितृदेवताभ्यो आद्यशंकराचार्यादिगुरुभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं पुराणेतिहासोक्त भगवद्भागवत ऋषिमुनिगुरूणां देवतानां दर्शनानुग्रहानुभवप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां गुरुशिष्यपरम्परायाः देवता भक्तपरम्परायाः समस्त साधनानां योगानां च पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण समस्त विश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति द्वारा विश्व शांति विश्व कल्याण विश्व एकता विश्व सामरस्यता विश्व सौभ्रातृष्व विश्व पुरोवृद्ध्यर्थमस्मिन् कर्मणि निश्चित अस्माकं सह समस्त भक्त साधक सेवक धर्म संस्थापक कंकणबद्धानां आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्य वीर विजयादि समस्त शक्ति संपदा साधना सानुकूल्यता प्राप्ति द्वारा बाह्य अभ्यंतर समस्त शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्य दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण शास्त्रस्य दशम स्कंदस्य पारायण मध्येन वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणं दशम स्कंद उत्तरार्धः अथ षडशीतितमोऽध्यायः श्रीशुक उवाच Chant from Shrutha Uvacha, 44 onwards, Pura 59. All the 16 mantras. Nadyano darshanam praptah param paramapurushaha यर्हीदं शक्तिभिः सृष्ट्वा प्रविष्टो ह्यात्मसत्तया यथा शयानः पुरुषः मनसैवात्ममायया सृष्ट्वा लोकं परं स्वाप्नम् अनुविश्यावभासते शृण्वतां गदतां शश्वत अर्चतां त्वाभिवन्दतां नृणां संवदतामन्तर्हृदि भास्यमलात्मनां हृदि स्थोऽप्यतिदूरस्थः कर्म विक्षिप्तचेतसाम् आत्मशक्तिभिरग्राह्यः अपि अन्ति उपेतगुणात्मनाम् नमोऽस्तु तेऽध्यात्मविदां परात्मने ह्यनात्मने स्वात्म विभक्तमृत्यवे सकारणाकारणलिङ्गमीयुषे स्वमायया संवृतरुद्धदृष्टये सत्वं शाधिस्वभृत्याननः किं देव करवामहे एतदन्तो नृणां क्लेशः यद्भवानक्षिगोचरः श्रीशुक उवाच इत्तदुक्तमित्युपाकर्ण्य भगवान् प्रणतार्तिः गृहीत्वा पाणिना पाणिं प्रहसन्स्तम् उवाचः श्रीभगवानुवाच ब्रह्मन्स्तेऽनुग्रहार्थाय सम्प्राप्तान् विद्यमोन्मुनीन् संचरन्ति मया लोकान् पुनन्तः पादरेणुभिः देवाः क्षेत्राणि तीर्थानि दर्शनस्पर्शनार्चनैः शनैः पुनन्ति कालेन तदप्यर्हत्तमेक्षया ब्राह्मणो जन्मना श्रेयान् सर्वेषां प्राणिनाम् इह तपसा विद्यया तुष्ट्या किमु मत्कलयायुतः स ब्रह्मणान्मे दयितं न ब्रह्मणान्मे दयितं रूपमेतद् चतुर्भुजं सर्ववेदमयो विप्रः सर्वदेवमयो हि अहं दुष्प्रज्ञा अविदित्वैवम् अपजानन्त्यनुसूयवः गुरुं मां विप्रमात्मानम् अर्चादाविद्यदृष्टयः चराचरमिदं विश्वं भावाये चास्य हेतवः मद्रूपाणीति चेतसि आधत्ते विप्रो मदीक्षयाम् तस्मात् ब्रह्म ऋषीनेतान् ब्रह्मन्मच्छ्रद्धयार्चय एवं चेदर्चितोऽस्म्यद्धा नान्यथा भूरिभूतिभिः श्रीशुक उवाच स इत्थं प्रमुणादिष्टः सः कृष्णान् द्विजोत्तमान् आराध्यैकात्मभावेन मैथिलः च आपसद्गतिम् एवं स्वभक्तयोः राजन् भगवान् भक्तभक्तिमान् उषित्वा आदिश्य सन्मार्गं पुनर्द्वारवतीमगात् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां दशमस्कन्धे उत्तरार्धे श्रुतदेवानुग्रहो नाम षडशीतितमोऽध्यायः। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीभागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम श्री कुमार शरणं मम श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्री विष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम शरणं मम। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओमुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्ति अयं रसः अत पिबन्तु सद्भाग्याः मामा मुञ्चत कर्हिचित्। ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओं श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणं दशमस्कन्धः। ओम निरोधस्यानुशयनम् आत्मनः सह शक्तिभिः अथ षडशीतितमोऽध्यायः श्रीशुक उवाच. Friends, as we were discussing every day, every shloka of these last few chapters of Dashama Skandha are having such a great knowledge, inspiration, guidance required for us given. We have to have that patience, that ability to cull out those inspirations, guidances, messages, and wisdoms. So we have done our traveling with Bhagavan Krishna and Rishimuni to the place of Bahulashwa and the interaction with Bahulashwa and Rishimuni and Bhagavan. All that glorious topic we saw. Simultaneously, Bhagavan visited Shrutha Devaji also. That Shrutha Deva Upakhyana also, how he just started dancing only with that Uttariyam in the hands out of that ecstasy. Then he welcomed them, made them sit in the Truna Pita Brusishu, in the asanas which he could afford. As that poor Brahmana, poverty is not because of laziness, but he was happy with whatever minimum used to come to him. That's how he was not bothered about any extra things to earn it or to worry about it. His whole mind was that way, made available by his own intelligence and maturity only for Bhagavad Upasana. The result is Bhagavan himself has chosen to visit his house with all the sages, sadhu, sant of that time. Then how he did the Pada Puja for all of them, along with the help of wife and all other family members. That was seen. That water he took on his head and everybody. After that Pada Prakshananam, all the upasanas of Dhupa, Deepa, Pushparchana, everything what he could do, he has done, including Naivedya Adi. Then when they had that sufficient rest, etc., after all that, now sitting at the feet of Krishna, taking the feet of Krishna in his lap, doing that very loving, devotional massage to that Bhagavan's charana. What I spoke in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shlokas is an exemplary, beautiful discussion. Very, very powerful. One or two of them we saw. Again to see it, Shrutha Deva Uvacha. The first itself is a huge bouncer or a direct yarker to clean bolt. First itself, or a perfectly in the spot ball hit for 120-meter sixer. Like that is the first thought only. What did he say? Na adya naha darshanam praptaha. You have not given us darshana today. Nor we had your darshana today only. Param means but. Then when he Param Purushaha, O Lord, advocative, Yarihi idam Shaktivihi Sruštva Pravishto hi Atma Sattaya. When you have made this creation and you entered yourself into this creation, that time only you gave your darshan. Now, how much of the Taittariya, the Upanishadic Sara Amsha is there in it? And our morning Aitareya, which we started, the Yoga Darshanam of Prakriti Purusha Viveka, which we are seeing, and the Gita, the Vishwarupa Darshanam, we just today concluded. All those things are summarized by him. Means what? The Lord at the time of creation, the first moment of creation only, by being available in the Hridaya of everyone, as Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata, he has given Darshana. Those who have chosen to see, they have seen there and then. Those who have not chosen to see, since then till now, they have gone through thousands and lakhs of Janma, yet you are not seeking, they are still, they are not having darshan. And what is the seeking and who will have darshan? Who will not have? That's what is the theme in the next 3 or 4 shlokas. So Bhagavan was never hidden from the jivas, leaving them for their own samsara at any moment. The time of creation only, Tadeva Anupravishata, he was available as Drashta, Shrota, Manta, Vijnata for those who want to observe him. And those who found him there, they are liberated before they entered into bondage only. Like the preventive medication those who intelligent people take, or preventive type of food exercise, throughout life they are healthy without any disease touching them. Others go through all diseases, never care the medication. They only choose to suffer, they get habituated to it. We all are habituated to the suffering of samsara. And then we are upar se sadhaka. If someone like God Guru comes and says, I will take away all samsara from you, we say, Namaste Guruji, मैं तो मजाक के वास्ते आपको बुलाया साधना कर रहा हूँ मेरा जिंदगी तो संसार में मजा है प्लीज डोंट टू गुस्ताखी करके वी सेंड देम ऑन that much we are habituated in millions of lives of devolution to find that pleasure, bhoga, in the bondage only. All the drug addicts, drink addicts said, "Ki such a terrible are those madhaka dravya. But in the terrible thing only they learn to find the happiness. Such a foolish fellows. In the same way, instead of discovering the Lord through jnana and bhakti and finding bliss in it, if you are trying to get the small little pleasures through the bhautika jagat as samsari by working hard for it through the desire, who can stop us? So this is the lesson from it. And that Lord was available for us at the first moment of creation in the cave of our heart is very much available even now. And that's how whoever have got fed up of their samsara and wanting to get moksha. And the only way of moksha is identity with Bhagavan. And they are keeping on trying. And whoever are trying and their effort reach to Parakashta, all of them are finding that Lord in the heart and they getting moksha. You and I have come now into that track. So many tracks or lanes we stood in our life in getting these are those things. Now we are in the lane or line of reaching Paramatma. In this line, there's nobody ahead blocking us, but there's a distance between we and the goal because of our own lack of abilities and efforts, which we have to cross and walk in this line. लाइक सिनेमा थिएटर का लाइन, एयरपोर्ट में टिकट का लाइन, या कहीं भी वस्तु खरीदने के लिए दिवाली के टाइम मिठाई की दुकान में लाइन या पटाखों के दुकान में लाइन लगी रहती है ना. तो इन दिस वे हम भी भोग वस्तुओं के लाइन में वी वर सो फार. राइट नाउ we are entering to the line of Paramatma Prapti. In this line, like those examples, nobody in front of us, but we have to walk depending on our abilities and efforts. We have come, if we think we have come. And those who have really convinced about their path, never going out, this path of spirituality line is such, everywhere the emergency doors are there, through them, you can go out of it and go back into the worldliness, like the people choose. And entry is not there. Entry is from where we have to start on. Okay? Or where you are left from, you can start. Again, you are tested, again, you are sent back to the place from where your journey should begin. So keep on in that path of discovering self, get the moksha. It is in our hands. So not that you have given us darshanam now, when you created the Sruštva, entered Tadeva Anubravishat, that time only you are available. So the great saints like the SHRUTHA Deva type, all the Brahmadi Devatas, when they were created, in them the Lord is there. They searched for the Lord, they found the Lord, they got identity with the Lord, they became mukta there and then. Then now they continued the Leela under the guidance of the Lord without themselves getting bound. Dekha? And those you and I who have not chosen to discover that Lord in our heart, we are going on, going through the Janma Marana Samsara. याद रख लेने इस बात को, पक्का बढ़िया सा बात. यर्हि इदम जगत शक्ति भी सृष्टवा प्रविष्टः ही आत्मसत्तया. You are there as your existence in the heart of everyone. Those who want to discover, you are already given darshana to them. Okay. How Bhagavan created this world, having shown this, same thing with us also, how the world has to be taken. Through the example, we are guided. Excellent discussion it is, which we have gone through in every of the text and every of the topic. This comes because these are the only examples by which the truth is conveyed to us. The delusion is shown to us that it is delusion, and we are given a guidance to come out. Yatha Shayanaha Purushaha, person who is sleeping, not yet gone into deep sleep. Manasa eva atmamaya srushva lokam param. Is it not? Manasa eva atmamaya srushva lokam param. Param means some other. Lokam in the world. Srushva having created. Manasa eva atmamaya. That world is only at the mind level, projection of the mind. Atmamaya means by deluding himself to be that waker. तो वेकर का अपना निज स्वरूप का भूल कर, that is called Atma Maya, with his own impressions, and from that impressions, with the help of the mind, one loka he creates. Having created Swapnam Anuvishya, he entering into that Swapna Loka, Avabhasate, he appears as the whole drama. In that one particular role as a Swapna Purusha, he specifically identifies with, and then through him he becomes Karta Bhokta. All in delusion. Like a director directing the whole movie, he himself can take one character in that movie and act. How many producers, directors themselves acted in the movie taken by them, or what do you say, conceived by them, directed by them? In the same way, O Lord, you are the one with your own Maya. You covered yourself to be Brahman. You yourself have projected this world, and you are playing so many roles. And that one of the role playing is you and I. So we actually have to start doing the sadhana that we are that Paramatma Swarupa only. It is very embarrassing, shameful in the beginning, looks like, but that's the fact. Nowadays in the world, doing all nonsensical things openly has become a fashion. Doing cultural, traditional, spiritual things becoming embarrassing. That is the time, nonsensical. Same way, we have made our life so wretched and unworthy that doing good things looks to be embarrassing like this. That I am actually Paramatma Swarupa. And doing the practice of I am Jiva, identify Deha, though going through all samsara, is become so easy, fashionable, acceptable to us, even though we are getting every kick at every place at every moment. Annamaya kicking us, Pranamaya kicking us, Manomaya, every one of them kicking. अब डंडे खाते हुए भी हम याद रखना इन बातों को. So only way is for us to get back in our identity with Paramatma. Anything done by which we identify with our essential nature is sadhana and correct. Anything which takes us away from our true essential nature makes us continuous jiva bound to dehadi into the world. We are doing big mistake, inviting troubles to ourselves. So yata shayanaha purushah manasa eva atmamayaya srishtva lokam param swapnam anuvishya avabhasate. Avabhasate means he alone is appearing as the created world, the creatures in the world, every one of them. Then their specific identity, then their mutual relativity of friendship or enmity, whatever. सारा भगवान ही नाटक कर रहे. So therefore, for this great Shrutha Deva, as per his first shloka, he has realized the self in his heart. As per this second shloka, in and through every being, he is recognizing same Paramatma. That means for him, the Jiva Jagat Ishvara Maya Krita Bheda is not denting his vision of Ekameva Dvayam Brahma Anubhuti everywhere. That Jnana Parakashta Sthiti Paripakvata he has achieved. For that only he was spending the time by not running behind Artha or Kama, conserving his time, mind, energy. You and I also are expected to do the same. and reach out to the experience of self in us, self in all, God in us, God in all, Brahma I am, everything else. Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Sarvam hi Brahma eva. Anubhuti. Not only by I talking to you, you listening from me. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha na medhaya na bahuna shrutain. By seeking only it exclusively and doing every sacrifice required for it and doing every sadhana of अन्वय व्यतिरेका for it, then only it will come. रुकना नहीं अनुभव आने तक किसी वजह से. Just to see, have we really got convinced out Paramatma as the goal, which we have discussed at length today in the introduction? Then did we start our journey? Are we ensuring that we are on the right path? देखो जब पहाड़ चढ़ते हो ना हिमालय में, सर्दियाँ बढ़ते रहते हैं, ऑक्सीजन डिफिशियंसी होती रहती है, पीने को पानी कम, खाने को खाना नहीं मिलता है, पैल्पिटेशन होने लगता है, थकावट होती है, बट इन सबको झेलते जो चलते बड़ा, ही विल हैव भगवान दर्शन. That Badrinath, Kedarnath, how beautiful. So too, when we are on the path, at every kosha level, the difficulties, the tests, the temptations, all the three will come. Going through all without leaving the path and goal, when we keep on moving, definitely a day will come in which we experience it. Like how many lives we might have tried to be regular to the classes. In this life, we achieved it. In this life, we are struggling to get clear picture of sadhya sadhana. To some extent, it is happening, and to some, in this life only, all that is clarity is gained. They even start sadhana also. For some, maybe in the next life, very few years of the earlier life only, sadhya sadhana's mission, clarity comes to the vision. Then they start even doing sadhana. इस तरह से रुकना नहीं बस, चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, यही एक बात पकड़ लो. चराई वेती चराई वेती, पाथ में स्थिर होकर चलते रहना. Now the third shloka gives us sadhana. Perfect, complete, beautiful sadhana. Our Shrutha Devaji indicates to us to experience Bhagwan. कितना प्यारा प्यारा क्योट है. मन ही मन में तो दोनों to बहुलाश्व राजा, Shrutha Deva, Brahmana Devata, I am just doing pranams at their feet. What a simple टर्न्स they are, what a clarity of vision they have कि भगवान दौड़ दौड़ कर गए उनको मिलने, अनुग्रह करने, मोक्ष देने. Wow, what a, is it not giving that surprise? कि such a great story of Lord himself running to meet them. नहीं दे रहा सरप्राइज, मतलब हम पान चबाते हुए सत्संग नहीं सुन रहे हैं, पान चबा रहे, निद्रा में है हम. इनसेंसिटिव यार, दैट मीन्स केयरलेस, रेकलेस, इगोइस्टिक इन लिसनिंग, कि हमने बहुत कहानियां ऐसे सुनी. Every story should create same feeling of inspiration, joy, tears in our eyes. Then only we are afresh every time, carrying the knowledge forward from the past, not the load of the ego and information. Very subtle. See the third one, very beautiful. Shunvatam gadatam shashwat archatam chabhivandatam nunam samvadatam antaha hrudibhasi amalatmanam. By doing these 5 sadhanas, the one who becomes very pure in your heart, mhm, by doing these 5 sadhanas, when one discovers the sufficient purity in the heart, Bhagwan there bhasi is prakat ho jate hain for that sadhaka in their own heart as their own self. And this same thing, which is so simple words used, is said in every of the Shastra, same thing. Like in Yoga Vasishta, it is called as Tat Chintanam, Tat Kathanam, Anyonyam, Tat Prabodhanam, Etadekavaratvam cha Tatvabhyasam Vidurbudhaha. Same thing in Gita is, Gita में तो 10 बार बताए. In the 9th chapter, the last shloka, Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishyasi Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. 10th chapter, same. Machita madgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti jaramanti cha. Same again, 11th chapter, the last shloka. Matkarma krudmat paramaha madbhaktah sangavarjitah nirvairah sarvabhuteshu yasamamedhi pandavah. The 12th same one. Mayeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya निवसिष्यसि मयि एव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. Same thing again, third chapter, 13th chapter also. ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते इत्यादि. Again in the 14th chapter also, मां च यो व्यभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते. Again 15th chapter. निर्माण मोह जित्संग दोष अध्यात्म नित्या विनिवृत्त कामाः द्वन्द्वैर्मुक्ताः सुख दुःख संगैर्गच्छन्त्य मूढा पदमव्ययं ततु तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यत प्रवृत्ति पुरुषा प्रवृत्ता पुरुषाणि यत प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणि. 16th chapter, 17th, 18th में तो ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति ब्राह्मणेन सर्वभूतानि अंतर्माय तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम्. Again, sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham dva sarvabhabebhyah mokshayishyami ma shujah. In this very Bhagavatam, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanviram Karo. Even this with all its phala, offer only at the feet of the Lord. That is the way to get the Lord's blessing, to have his darshan. Any of the Purana, Itihasa, Sahasranamas, कहीं भी पढ़ो भगवद अनुमिति का जो साधना ये है वो स्टैंडर्ड है. In that, first, Anubhava of Paramatma should be kept as goal. Second, that Anubhava is twofold. One is the immanent one in the form of the whole universe and also your own Ishtarupa. Second is, or the first one is in your own heart as the self. And that experience comes only when the heart becomes purified. That pure heart happens only when these 5 sadhanas are done. स्पष्ट रूपेण. तो ये 5 साधनाएं अंतःकरण शुद्धि के लिए करना, शुद्ध अंतःकरण भगवत दर्शन अनुभव के लिए पाना, भगवत अनुभूति मोक्ष के लिए. दीज थिंग्स जिंदगी में सपने में भी एक बार भी नहीं बोलना, लगातार याद रखते जाना. हमारा प्रॉब्लम क्या है? यू आर गुड, वी कम टू क्लास, लिसन, but the problem with that is the goal means intensity, everything we live in the class only. When we go to the world, totally involved in the world so quickly, so completely, as if we have never heard about any spirituality. Nothing of spiritual goal is there. Whole world alone is very, very important, essential to us. In that way, we involve in the world. Then these are the things we have to recognize where we are going wrong and how to extend what we heard in the class beyond the class. Slowly, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Then whole day we are in the theme of Bhagavan only. Whether we are in the class, whether we are in our study table with the book, whether we are in puja room or even any activities we are doing, always in the Bhagavad Smriti like Gopikas. They are always, whatever they do it for God. They are in God only always. Bhagavan ka Vismriti. Tatrapi Mahatma Jnana Vismriti Apavadaha. They never have done Vismarana. Tad arpita akhilacharata, tad Vismarane parama vyakulata. For them, tad vastu, that Paramatma Krishna, is everything. That sthiti. When it comes to us, that the only theme of life is Bhagavan. अभी तो हजारों चीजें हैं. धन कनक वस्तु वाहन व्यक्ति विशेष, variety of विषयास सुख भोग. In the list of the 2598 million things, somewhere भगवान also. अपने आप भगवान अगर मिलते हैं आने तो उनको हम चाय पिला के फिर भेज देंगे. We are busy in our worldliness. That's our immature attitude today because of wrong education system, wrong bringing up at the house. The whole society is like that. The entire yuga is such a worst of the ones. Kali, these are all reasons. Reasons कुछ भी हो, सफर तो कर रहे होना है संसारी. Then suffering avoid करना है, मोक्ष तो पाना है. देखो, whatever the outer inner reasons, there is always a way out. The way out is what we are here every day to discover through study of Shastra. Discover it, walk through it, and eject out of it. That should be our goal. So, what are the 5 sadhanas? Shrutha Devji telling all of us. Anna? Beautiful each one of them. Mm. First one he says, Shrunvatam. It is only Bhadram Karneme Shrunyama Devaha. Somehow find time and listen about Paramatma's Nirguna Nirakara Tattva through Upanishads, Saguna Sakara through Bhagavata Adi. Shrunvan, छोड़ना नहीं. Shrunvan. First sadhana. If you don't listen about God, we listen about the world. Then that has a terrible Maya Shakti in it to mesmerize us, to delude us, and to pull us towards it, like all politicians. How sweetly they talk before elections with all the emotions, tears, love to the praja, with manifesto, declarations, and all. You know, कहते मगरमच्छ का आंखों का पानी तेलुगु में कहते हैं. Variety of things they do, give us power. होने के बाद they are busy with their own things. लाख तुम जाके चरण गिड़गिड़ा उनके, वो लोग करेंगे नहीं अपना. Nowadays, the good government is there from 9 years. They are struggling to do. But we also have to cooperate with them. In the same way, Shravanam of the world is done. It has such a terrible Maya, Shakti, to mesmerize and delude us. Never ever take chance to go there. Tomorrow, day after, I think 2 days in the 20th Sutra of this Yoga Darshanam Sadhana Pada, same thing we are going to study. That even though the Purusha is himself Swatantra, himself in his own Swarupa of the Chaitanya, but because of he being the Buddhi Prati Samvedi, as if inevitable, he takes the Buddhis Vrittis, either of Sattva, Raja or Tamo, as if of his own, and then as if acts suffering. And that acting he does so seriously that really he suffers. Like in some old movie you have seen one or two, that mental hospital nurse serving the patients so much she becomes emotional. Towards the end, she herself becomes mental only. In the same way, that sutra we are going to study tomorrow, day after. So the positive we said, Shrunvatam, keep on listening only to God. Negative also we said, if not listened, something or the other we are forced to listen, and other than God is the world. It all is such a terrible Maya. It will mesmerize us. It is like a Christians. How sweetly talking they confuse and they can, what to say, they influence and convert our, what a wonderful Hindus doing such a upasanas, pujas from the birth onwards, from generation. Listen to those stupid fellows and get converted. Maya and Christianity, they are same. They convert. Terrible they are. Anything other than Bhagavan listening. Ruthless we have to reject it. Else we get lost. So therefore the non-positive aspect is that one. Never give a chance, never take a chance. जाना ही नहीं भी वहां. नहीं ना. मैं ट्राई करता हूँ जलता हुआ आग में देखता हूँ क्या होगा कूद कर. देखने के लिए तू रहेगा नहीं रे. और फ्रॉम द हेलीकॉप्टर आई विल ओपन द डोर एंड जंप. देखता हूं क्या होगा. देखने के लिए विल बी देयर. और आई विल टेक ए फुल बॉटल ऑफ पॉइजन looking at its expiry date, that it is not expired, it is ready enough to make me expired. I'll take it and मैं देखूंगा क्या होगा. देखने के लिए तुम नहीं रहोगे. सेम वे देखूंगा मैं इस या सुनूंगा मैं इस जगत को. देखूंगा क्या होगा. देखने के लिए you will be not there as sadhaka. You will be lost in the world. It is such a terrible bulbulaya. You know, you have seen that bulbulaya in Lucknow. In the other place, 2-3 places मैंने तीनों जगह देखा. याद नहीं है किधर है. That भूलभुलैया में जाओ अंदर तो फिर आना नहीं होता बाहर फिर. Unless you are so careful in entry only, discovering exit at every point. Because it has such a technique, that old time of pocket thieves, ओल्ड टाइम का अभी भी है, ग्रुप होता है, चेन, ये इधर से पॉकेट मारेगा, उसको देगा, वो उसको देगा, उसको 2 मिनट में वो पर्स जो है 1 किलोमीटर जाती है। अब पकड़ भी लिया इनको पुलिस, बोलते हम तो नहीं पकड़ा, कहा है, बोलते हमने तो नहीं किया चुराई। In the same way, from one object to the one thing to other, one person to the one place to other, one situation to the other, this Shravanam takes us so much, so much, so much, so much that we are lost. Like everyday what that's what happens to us when we sit for our japa or dhyanam. बैठे तो परमात्मा का जब यह ध्यान करने, suddenly one thought comes of a person, and from that the interaction with that person, and through that the third person, the fourth person, we go back 5 years back to other place. How quickly we make a whole round of the whole world only, sitting for meditation 10 minutes, पूरा दुनिया घूम के आए. In the same way, anything done Shravana other than God destroys us. There is no alternative thought in this. There is no compromising here. समझा तो समझो, नहीं तो नहीं, करना करो, नहीं तो नहीं. Life is yours, choice is yours. Shrunvatam explained. Second is Gadatam. Gadana means speaking. That's what I told you, no? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, what Prahlad said, Machitta, what the Prana, what he said, or Tachintanam, Prabodhanam, it is said, or Manmana, Bhakto, all of that is the same thing. Second is Gadanam, means speaking out. So again, Gadatam, speak out. Because we told you while explaining uh, Bhadram Karine Vishunyam, Bhadram Pashema, 100 times, ki when we are the speakers, we are the first listeners. So if you want to listen auspiciousness, we have to become the speaker of the auspiciousness, because we are the first ones to listen. जैसे आप डोर क्लोज्ड डोर कार में जा रहे हो, तो वहां कुछ देखा, बहुत अप्रिशिएशन, गुड वर्ड्स और बैड वर्ड्स uttered by your mouth. Therefore gadata means what? Go on doing the talking only about God. This we have already spoken to you 20, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 times in our last 5,800 classes or 6,000 classes. What is the thing we have to talk? Talk about Bhagwan's name. Means Namasmarana karte rehna. Then we are listening Bhagwan. So to Bhagwan ka Rupa Varnana. So that the Bhagwan's form is embedded in our heart. Bhagwan's Leela. Speak on that. We listen that. Then the whole life, whole heart is filled with Leelas. Then through the Leela, the Gunas. Through the Guna, Bhagwan ka Dhama. And after Dhama, Bhagwan का स्वरूप. वही सुनना है, वही बोलना है. भद्रम करने भी सुनियामा, भद्रम वदामहा विथ आवर माउथ, वदताम और गदताम. सो शृण्वताम ज्ञानेन्द्रिय का प्रतीक हो गया कान, गदताम कर्मेंद्रिय का प्रतीक हो गया वाणी. वी हैव टू डू दैट ओनली. देखो what we use our indriyas for, that's what enters our heart. Through the indriyas and antakarana, we only entertain the theme of worldliness, and we say that it should not enter into our heart. How will it happen? And never ever did anything related to Bhagavan through Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Antakarana. Then how do we expect those beautiful, positive samskaras of divinity to be in our heart? मुश्किल है स्वामी, कुछ जादू करो अपने आप ही भगवान. नहीं होता बेटा. होता होता तो कभी कर देता ना. पूछने की बात थोड़ी है वो. लेकिन सब्जी वाला बोलते हैं ना, अम्मा जी अगर देने का हो तो पूछने की बात थोड़ी है, मैं तो जो खरीदा वही दे रहा, मेरे को 5 रुपए बचते हैं उस पे ही से. In the same way, do you think the God and Guru are so crude and rude that unless you request and beg that they won't give you the simpler path? No, what they give is the simplest and easiest and bestest. You can't improve upon them. You have to do it. That's it. चोर दोनों है. चोर मतलब एक दोस्त है, एक चोर. बुद्धि इज द दोस्त. वो कहता है खुद मेहनत करो या भगवान की कृपा से लेट गुड impressions, good samskara enter into my heart of God. But the other fellow, the mind is waiting for the buddhi to keep quiet. The moment the buddhi keeps quiet, the mind starts attacking, and he only does the listening and doing everything other than God, and it pours in those many samskaras inside. तो खुद sort out करो ये अंदर की बात. Gadatam. Oh no, it is so difficult to take Lord's name. You make it easy. That's it. There is no alternative. होता तो बताते. सबसे easy यही है. So to do the mantrocharana, stotra patana, bhajana, kirtana, of course with the meaning known, with the bhavana in the heart. See that Shrutha Devas, that's why his name is Shrutha Deva. Shravanam, first one he spoke about is Shrunvatam only. Then he's talking now, Gadatam, Bolna. Third one, Shashwat Archatam. Third sadhana is Archana Karo. इन दैट अर्चना रुचाओं के साथ मंत्रों के साथ षोडशोपचार पूजा आदि करते हुए अष्टोत्तर आदि करते हुए भगवान को all the dravya, all the antakarana, all their vrittis, all the lava, hari, nashta, everything offering to the Lord is called archana. Shashwat archata. करो एक के बाद एक यही साधनाओं में हमारे अपने आप को रखकर actively, dynamically, we have to create that sattva guna and remove and make zero the rajo and tamo. This is what is the secret of spiritual evolution. Those who have understood, they are doing it, they are growing. And anything which makes everything sattvic, whether it is food, whether it is the topics or the places to visit, वही करते जाना. Otherwise, some time of the day, sattvic things we are doing, other time rajo tamo, there is a continuous struggle inside. ना घर का ना घाट का हो जाते. Everybody will have to go through that period for a lot of time. है ना? But being continuously on the path, taking the help of Guru and God and their blessings, slowly they get convinced about shifting towards totally to the sattva, wherein only the related to Bhagavan things are happening. Shrunvatam, Gadatam, Shashwat means continuously Archatam. देखो जिनको दुनियादारी में बहुत काम करनी है वो लोग सुबह आधा घंटा शाम को आधा घंटा भैया कम से कम पूजा करो. इट इज कम से कम, माइंड यू, इट इज नॉट ज्यादा से ज्यादा. बट फॉर दोज यू एंड आई हु हैव टू डिस्कवर परमात्मा, उनको 24 घंटे भी लगा दो पूजा अर्चना में, वो कमी है, क्योंकि जरूरत है वो. नॉट दैट एक बार सुबह भगवान को पूजा कर दी हो गया. बार बार भगवान को डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना. हु टोल्ड यू इज गेटिंग डिस्टर्ब्ड? थ्रू आउट द डे यू कैन डू अभिषेक टू हिम, यू विल रिसीव इट. Throughout the day you do archana, sahasranamavali, you will receive it. That is why Shashwat word is used. That Shashwat is continuously goes with all. Shashwat Shunvatam, Shashwat Gadatam, Shashwat Archatam. Archana Bhagavan ka karte jana. In that all the upacharas, no? ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आसनं समर्पयामि पाद्यम अर्घ्यम आचमनीयम स्नानीयम वस्त्रम उपवीतम गंधान आभरणान नक्षत्रान अलंकारान पुष्पमालां देन पुष्पे पूजयामि धूपमाग्रापयामि दीपं दर्शयामि नैवेद्य निवेदयामि ताम्बूलं समर्पयामि नीराजनं दर्शयामि आत्मप्रदक्षिण नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि छत्रमाच्छादयामि चामरविजयं नृत्यं दर्शयामि गीतं श्रावयामि वाद्यघोषम् अश्वानारोहयामि गजानारोहयामि आन्दोलिकां समर्पयामि समस्त शक्तोपचार भक्तोपचार आजूबाजू देवोपचारान् समर्पयामि. All that is archana. In that all our sharira, mana, indriya, buddhi, prana, shakti and all dravyas are divinized because they are all offered to the theme called as Bhagwan. This one sadhana of daily doing puja, इसमें कर्म योग, भक्ति योग, ज्ञान योग, अष्टांग योग, ध्यान योग, every yoga is included in it. उच्चारण योग, शुभ्रता योग, दिव्यता योग, नाम कुछ भी दो, अर्पण योग, सात्विक योग, एरोबिक योग, एनोब्रोबिक योग, अष्टांग योग, ऑल योग साधना योग, सोगासना, सब कुछ आ जाते हैं उसमें. सिर्फ 2 घंटे डेली भगवान का उपासना करो, थक जाओ उसमें. उसमें 1.5-1.5 घंटा पूजा में, आधा घंटा तैयारी में, या 2.5-3 घंटे में हाफ फॉर पूजा, हाफ फॉर तैयारी. There are many people, puja adi shanragiti parasarya, many through this puja only realized Bhagwan. Katha adishiti garga, some listening to her talking katha, they had darshan. Atmanatya virodheniti shandilyaha, some of them, like Mundaka, we are going to study tomorrow, continuously thinking themselves with Atma, they realize Paramatma. नारद जी कहते तदर्पिता अखिलाचारता तद्विस्मय परमव्याकुलता. This is for all of us. Everything you offer to him and never forget him even for a second. Like a lover, how much he remembers the beloved. Only those 4-5 hours of nidra. और उसमें भी सपने में वो ड्रीम बॉय और ड्रीम गर्ल दे ओनली कम. सुबह उठते फर्स्ट मैसेज क्या आया, मैसेज करके ही गो फॉर ब्रशिंग टीथ एंड ऑल. There's a meaning of Tad vismarane parama vyakulata, always in the smarana of Paramatma. वो प्रेम परमात्मा के लिए आना चाहिए. वो आएगा कब? When we know that we are given everything by the Lord only. That recognition creates that gratitude. From that gratitude, we develop this attitude of always remembering Paramatma. No, these are all very internal things. They have to be consciously, effortfully to be created, maintained, generated in ourselves. इसी को साधना. We are not at all doing our maximum two sadhanas are coming, sitting in the class one, sleeping two. When Purnamad hoti hai, get up and go three. ना ना ना, ये सारा कोई भी अपने आप नहीं होता. अपने आप भूमि में वीड्स आते हैं, नॉट प्रॉपर प्लांट्स. प्रॉपर प्लांट्स को तो हमें लैंड को खोद को जोत कर weed out करके, then we have to sow the sapling seeds and all. Then only the fruits, flowers, vegetables come. In the same way, in our garden of our heart also, we have to plant all these sadhana plants for getting the phala and pushpa of the siddhi. तो शृण्वताम गदताम शश्वत च अर्चताम, तीन बोल दिया. अब ये सुनने के बाद हमको स्वामी बाबा एक बार भी बता नहीं क्या है साधना, ऐसा बोल के बेइज्जती मत करना. टिल नाउ 2000 times we have seen what is sadhana. 2001 time now. If one is not interested in noting them, writing them on paper and sticking and remembering it throughout the day and doing so, what can anybody do? Like this, even Bhagavan himself comes and tells 1000 times. With our expertise of being careless and forgetting, we continue remaining the samsari only. What can God do? That's why Bhagavan never comes. He sends only his representatives called saints, sages. इफ यू से भगवान से मैंने संतों को भेजा ना, तुमने उनका ही उपयोग कर लिया, किया नहीं, मैं आऊंगा तो मेरे को कैसे उपयोग नहीं करोगे तुम, पहले उनका उपयोग करो. एंड द वंस हु उपयोग किया है संतों का डायरेक्शन, दे डोंट नीड गॉड टू कम टू हेल्प. गॉड विल कम टू गिव मोक्ष. You have to follow the Santa. Today, the whole topic of Krishna, last 6-7 shlokas, is only that in this chapter. You do upasana to all these saints and sages. They are more dear to me than my own Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Chaturbhuja Rupa, Bhagavan is going to say. So, Shunvatam, Gadatam, Shashvata, Archatam. 3 हो गए. The fourth one, Abhivandatam. Abhivandatam means doing always Vandana. In that Vandana, Arpana hota hai. Offering everything to him with humility expressed through salutation. So Shravanam Kirtana Vishnu Smaranam Pad Sevanam Mandal Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyamatma Nivedanam. What said by Prahlad in 7th Skandha is same thing said by Shrutha Deva here, just little different words. That's it. So the fourth sadhana is Abhivandata. Always our head is bent in salutations to the Lord in the form of anything, in the form of any being, in the form of any experience, in the form of any situation. बस झुको उनके सामने. बारिश हुआ, भगवान ने किया है वंदना. नहीं हुआ, बहुत गर्मी है, bend the hand and do नमस्कार, वंदना. शत्रु से have come troubled, in that form भगवान came, वंदना. मित्र came and helped, in that form भगवान came, वंदना. Disease came, वंदना. Doctor came, treated, Vandana. That's the meaning of Vandata. Always Vandana. Oh, it does Vandana means Svikruti of whatever given by the Lord as his prasada. No demand, no complaint. Vandana. Wow, wonderful sadhana it is. एक ना वंदना करो बस. कोई भी दिख रहा हो, भगवान की मोबाइल मूर्ति है, मन ही मन ये इस रूप में रहने वाले भगवान, वंदना. So when you see the bird, वंदना. When you see an animal, वंदना. A tree देखा, वंदना. पहाड़ देखा, वंदना. Oh, देखो नदी मगर seen, वंदना. That's why every one of them are worshipped in our Sanatana Dharma. Vandana. Vandana is the very less cared and valued sadhana, but most important, valuable sadhana. And this was there just 30-40 years back. 40-50 years back. पता नहीं हम जब से हम पैदा हो गए सबसे देखो कोई भी मिलते हैं, राम राम जी, नमस्कार जी, हरे कृष्णा, they used to do Vandana only. Abhi some organizations it is maintaining something, and that also say Ram Ram, Hari Om, अरे यार ये तो प्यार से बोल भगवान का नाम, but बेचारा he doesn't know what he why he is saying and all, तो हो जाता है कोई बात, but then राम राम जी, जय श्री कृष्णा जी, जय श्री राधे, जय माता रानी, all of these Vandana only. To what? Not to the individual. In that individual, the God. God alone is expressing as that. He is playing his लीला. देखो भाई, बाहर व्यवहार में जैसे लोग चाहती है वैसा करो, पर अंदर हृदय में everyone is labeled is भगवान only. सूर्य भगवान, चंद्र भगवान, ग्रह भगवान, नक्षत्र भगवान, तारका भगवान, पहाड़ भगवान, समुद्र भगवान. See, is not this thing yesterday to Ravana, the Sanat Kumara taught, I am teaching you Sarvapa of the Rama. Is it not the first mantra of Aitareya Upanishad? Atma va idam eka eva agre asitu na anyad kinchana misatu. देखो हम स्टार्ट नहीं कर रहे, साधना कर रहे हैं तो मुश्किलें करके मिस मिस कर रहे हैं, फिसल रहे हैं, तो करो स्टार्ट, फिसलो मत. You know that ऊपर चीनी, all ants are trying to climb. Some are they are slipping. Some of them are even though sleeping again trying, reaching to that sweet. So too we slip from this. All things related to do Bhagavan doing. नीचे आते worldliness में again climb, hold stay there और move करो. Like the mountain climbing कैसे करते हैं, reach to the peak summit wherein for us in or out अंतर्वहिच सर्वम नारायण है, तो अंतर्वहिम हमको नारायण के अलावा और कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा, वो स्थिति को हमें पहुंचना है ना. अंदर राम बाहर राम, जो देखो सो राम ही राम. गुरु कृपांजन पायो मेरे भाई, राम बिना कछु देखत नाही. ये है शृण्वताम गदताम शश्वत अर्चताम. Then comes the fourth one is avivandatam. Then the fifth one is nrunam samvadatam. Samvadata means mutually talking to each other or talking to the God only. In this samvadana, we put all our weaknesses, all our lacuna or failures, everything in front of the Lord. We also put our sharanagati in front of the Lord. Anyada sarananasti davaham sharanangataha. And in that samvadatam, the third one is prarthana to God. Oh Lord, you alone remove this Maya. You alone empower me with Shuddha Sattva Guna. You alone make me capable of going to the Guru, sticking to disciplines, become qualified, listening from him the Mahavakya Padosh. Oh Lord, please bless me to be able to do always Vedanta Vakyeshu Sadharavantaha, doing the Vicharana of how that Tat and Tamar Asi. It is called as Samvadata. Telling our difficulties, expressing our gratitudes if something we could do, asking for him from him for the higher stages of spiritual evolution. बात करते रहो भगवान से अंदर ही. So Shrunvatam, listen about Nirguna Saguna of Paramatma. Gadatam, if you are capable, you yourself become Pravachanakarta and talk about it. Archatam, spend the time in doing Archana to the Lord, in which all Karmendra Jnanendra Antakarana are involved along with all the Dravya. Then the Samvadatam, Archatam, fourth one is Abhivandatam. Let the Lord be saluted to with humility everywhere. Any vastu we are उपयोग कर रहे हैं वो सब भगवान ही. अभिवंदता, प्रणाम नमस्कार करो. You know that Marwadi ji said, दुकान जाते हो गला बेटी को प्रणाम करता, because that is mother Lakshmi. Then all the objects he does namaskar, because everything is Bhagwan to them. That's why they are never poverty में. ये मारवाड़ी लोग कभी poverty में नहीं रहते, because they always see the God there. Not that they are Maha Brahmagnani Atmagya, कुछ नहीं है, they are not seekers at all, but they see the God everywhere. Therefore, the Lord is taking care of them, that artha kama at least. And they are doing the dharma of the devotion. If they seek it for moksha, भगवान का अनुभव ही आ जाएगा, हो जाएगा अगले जन्म में. Every of such person in this life will be a true seeker next life. सो टू एनीबडी, क्षत्रिय वैश्य ब्राह्मण जो भी करते हैं अगले जन्म में पक्का साधक बनेगा. सो वी हैव सीन शृण्वताम गदताम शाश्वत अर्चताम अभिवंदताम. द लास्ट वन samvadatam. To the persons who have done all these five sadhanas of that nrunam of those human beings, antarhrudi, in your own heart bhasi, you will give your realization or darshana. And by all the five sadhanas, amalatmanam, whose antakarana became so finer and refined that there is no mile mitti of tamoguna to not see God when he is giving darshana, or rajoguna of distraction when the Lord is giving darshana. देखो भगवान हमेशा दर्शन देते हैं. Either in tamoguna we sleep or in rajoguna we go here and there. Just like when you are in temple, puja is doing upasana, puja on your name only is doing archana. But do you think you see the God all the time and puja कर रहे हैं? नहीं. 5% करते, 95% they're busy in their cell phone. How much money to give to the pujari? They are already distracted. पूजा हो रहा है वहाँ. Same way Bhagavan is always open door revealing himself. Either we are in sleep tamoguna inside or we have gone out with rajoguna. When these two are avoided, that's called as the last word here, amala atma. उनका अंतकरण अमल प्योर हो गया, मल रहित हो गया, है ना. मल इज राग द्वेषादि मल, पूरा निकल गया, जीरो. फॉर देम भासी, यू बिकम प्रकट. दैट्स द मीनिंग ऑफ तमेव भान्तमनो. नो, तस्यैष आत्मा विवृणते तनुम स्वाम, स्वाम तनुम तस्य एष आत्मा विवृणते. To such person the self reveals. Now these things have to be more and more श्रद्धा से to be contemplated and get a clarity. Okay, now in the next two श्लोकास, हृदय में है फिर भी बहुत दूर है भगवान इन लोगों के लिए, एंड इन लोगों के लिए बहुत नजदीक है भगवान इन टाइम एंड प्लेस एंड एफर्ट्स. Again the next श्लोक, नमोस्तुते अध्यात्मपरात्मने. Beautiful are these 6 only shlokas of Shrutha Deva, worthy of contemplation for us. 3 we have seen, 3 we will see tomorrow. The remaining portion in which Bhagavan himself gives an upaya, because as an avatara, he is not permanent, but in the form of the Rishi, Munu, Guru, he is permanent there on this earth. There is no period of history. How much ever the Rakshasas like of that time, Ravana they were ruling, this time the Mughals, Britishers were ruling. There was no dearth of these realized saints that are available. Always they are there. So worship them, seek the knowledge from them. That is the means to reach to me. That in 5 or 6 slokas toward the end, Bhagavan tells us, which is very, very essential sadhana. All these Mahat grand saints, they're all from this 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th century only. 16th century, 15, 16, 14, 15, 16 में ही ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा संत all over the country were there from different directions. There were the terrible periods of Indian history where all the Mughals have occupied. But still their Mahatmas were there. Even in the time of Britishers only, the great Ramana Maharshis and all of them are that time. Even now, they are all around. So Bhagavan is available eternally in the form of the Rishi, Muni and Gurus, Tattvajnas. So serve them. That will be the very important topic will be taught to us. Tomorrow we'll see. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Bol Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Om Bhurvua Svasvarenyam Bharvat प्राणाय पानाय व्यानाय उदानाय समानाय ब्रह्मणे मध्ये मध्ये अमृतपाणीयम् उत्तरावोष्णम् हस्तपादप्रक्षालनमाचमनम् ताम्बूलं नीराजनं दर्शयामि. ॐ नीलमेघश्याम कृष्ण नित्यजगन्मोहन कृष्ण बालगोपाल कृष्ण भव्यमङ्गलं वेणुगानलोल कृष्ण वेदान्त वेद कृष्ण नवनीत भक्तजनाधार कृष्ण परमदयावान मुक्तिसन्दायक कृष्ण मूर्तिमङ्गलं गीतामृत परमयोगीश पार्थसार सर्वं न तत्र मंगलं ब्रह्मलोकादेरि मे ब्रह्मलोक मंगलम श्री कृष्ण बोल श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण शास्त्र की जय। श्री वेद व्यास शुभदेव सूतादि भागवताचार्य की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतर की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तन गोविंद गोविंद। समस्त श्रोता भक्त साधक सेवक उपासक जिज्ञासुगण की जय। थैंक यू। नाइस साधना।